welcome back. It's Didrik Gelderman here, and we're in week 2 of better communication. Now, I'm going to test you today. I'm going to test you by asking you to do something that's probably going to be out of the comfort zone of most people watching this video. And why do I say that? Because this is something I talk about again and again and again and again with veterinary practitioners, and they eventually do what I suggest, and once they do it, they would never stop. But getting them to step outside their comfort zone and actually do this is something that takes a lot of oomph and gumption on their part. So what is it that I'm talking about? I'm talking about the handshake. I've tested it, and let me give you the theory behind this for a start, and then we'll go back to the practicalities. Again, we're talking about getting better trust from the client to you, more liking, more respect, and once you get all that, they're more likely to take up your recommendations, and therefore you'll be able to treat the pet, or they'll take up your recommendations. You'll be able to treat the pet the more effectively, and there'll be better patient outcomes. So that's the end result, is better patient outcomes. But you've got to get past that gatekeeper. You've got to get past that client and get them to like, trust and respect you. And we gave you 3 strategies last week. This is the 4th one to add in your arsenal. And as I said, it's the handshake. So last week we talked about eye contact causing oxytocin release in both you and them. Well, the handshake does exactly the same thing. Remember, oxytocin is called the cuddle hormone. And as I said last week, I don't expect you to cuddle the client, but when you make handshake, you build connection. A handshake is worth, listen to this, and these are the studies. We work in the science industry. We are veterinary scientists, and therefore we should base what we do on science. And the science shows that a correct handshake is equal to 30 minutes, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes of conversation. So a handshake is equivalent to having a 30-minute conversation with that client with respect to building trust, liking and respect. Now, I'm not saying that you should shake the hand of that person every single time that they come in. If they come in, every week for a repeated injection, or every second day to have a fluorescein stain on an ulcer, no, you're not going to shake their hand every time. But certainly the first time you meet them, you're going to shake their hand, and you're going to build that rapport, build that connection. And then if you don't see them for another 12 months, they're back for the next annual health check or whatever, I'd suggest you do the same thing again. Now, let me give you some studies on this. I've worked with many new and younger graduates that have challenges getting the communication happening and the respect and the trust from the clients. And this is something that I've asked them to do. And as I said in my introduction, this can be really challenging. I know when I started this, I was petrified. I was scared stupid, especially when doing this with a lady. But I now do it standard with every single person I meet. I'll even do it with the kids and make it a bit fun. And boy, does it change the game. So these newer graduates, when they can get out of their comfort zone and shake the client's hand, their ability to get better patient outcomes just escalates unbelievably. So oxytocin release, better connection, more liking, trusting and respect. As I said a couple of seconds ago, this may not be the norm for women, but I'm very much going to suggest that you do it, whether you're a woman, a lady listening to this, or whether the client that is with you is a woman and you're a man. I'm going to suggest that you do this anyway, and just make it part of your introduction. Hi, I'm Didrik Gelderman. Call me Didrik, call me Dr. Gelderman, whatever it happens to do. Make that part of your introduction. You'll find you'll get so much more respect from the client. This is especially true if you're a younger person, or especially true if you're female and you're talking with an older man or an older gentleman. I know it sounds sexist, it's not meant to be, it's just the way it is. Now, in plenty of practices that I've worked with where the practice owner has said, look, Diederik, I respect what you're saying, but I'm not 100% sure you're correct in spite of the science and in spite of the studies. Let's test this. So what we've done in these practices is we've split the vets into two groups, and we've had one group of vets shake the client's hands and the other group not shake the client's hands on meeting them. And then we've looked at the average transaction fee between the two groups. And we've typically seen the average transaction fee go up with the group that's shaking the client's hands by as much as $4 to $5 per transaction. Now, just multiply $4 to $5 per transaction or per consultation times the number of consultations that happen in your practice every day. Multiply that by 250 days for the working year or whatever, and just do the maths on this, and you may be shocked at how beneficial this is to your practice. And one last thing that I'll say. There was a study done on waiters and waitresses. So this is non-sexist, and this is waiters and waitresses with both male and female patrons. And what this study did was they looked at what happened when a waiter, and I'll call them waiters now, so I'm talking about men and women, when waiters touched the arm or the hand of the patron when they handed the bill over or put the bill on the table versus when they didn't touch the client when they put the bill on the table. What happened was that there was a 42% increase in the dollar value of the tip at the end of the evening. 42% increase in tipping just because the waiter or the waitress managed to touch the patron on the hand or the forearm when they put the bill on the table. Incredible, isn't it? And it'll be exactly the same for your practice. Now, I know you don't get tips, that's what I'm talking about, but you will get better patient outcomes, more uptake of recommendations, and therefore have a higher average transaction fee. Something to practice till we get together again next week. Bye.